and that would be this part right here, where AZ is equal to 2. So doing the math part is pretty easy. Doing the proof, that's the long part, right? But being able to write this proof is important. So what's next?
Answers, subtract, chapter.
So we want to find YC, right? So how are we going to find YC?
Isn't it 8?
Well, we know that CY is congruent to AY, right? We already know that. That's given. So we can substitute
AY.
Sorry, BY. That's a BY. Because earlier they were in the wrong order. Remember that? So it was BX, AX, BY, CY, and AZ to CZ. But then BY is 8. BY is 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means CY is 8.
Hey, I was right.
Okay? And that's substitution. Okay? So that's number 10. And we're done with that number 7, right? But now we got to do number 8. And number 8's the hard one. That's the one that does this XP. Right? And to find this XP, we need a couple of things. We need this. But we know what BP is, right? Because it's a circumcenter, then BP, right, is congruent to AP, right? Because those are both part of the circle, right? They're the circumference, or the radius to the circle.
Circumcision.
So these two will be congruent, right? So even though this is 8, this piece right here is 16, right? So even though this one's 8, this piece is 16. So if BP is 16, then AP is 16. If AP is 16, then that means BP is 16, right? So that's a substitution. So this is definition of a circumcenter. Okay? And then this is just substitution, right? So now we have this new triangle. And the new triangle is this piece that looks like this. Where we have 16, we have 6, and we have this unknown, which is XP, right? And we need to find XP. That's the whole purpose, XP. So what do we use to find XP if this is a right angle? And then that's when we use Pythagorean theorem. 13 is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is Pythagorean theorem. Right? And then substitution again. So we're going to plug in 6 for b is equal to c squared, 16 squared, plus a squared, which is xp squared. Right? And so again, that's 14. 14 is substitution. And then we just do our math, which is 36, 256 xp squared, right? And then subtract 36, subtract 36. So we get xp squared is equal to 220, right? And then you square root. So all of these have pieces to them, right? This is 15. 15 is simplify, right? 16 is subtraction property of equality. And 17, this is the new one, right? This is the one where we're using the square root property of equality, where you square root both sides. Okay? And now we have to simplify that. So, I'm going to simplify it over here. 220. We're going to simplify that by pulling out a 2, and that's 1, 1, 0, right? A 2, so that's 55. A 5, that's 11. An 11, that's 1. Then you pull out your pairs. So what's paired up comes out of the square root. What's not paired up stays in the square root. So we get 2 square roots of 55. And that's what this side is. 2 square roots of 55, right? So 17, or actually 18, is xp is equal to 2 square roots of 55, right? So 2 square roots of 55 is xp. And we are finally got both 6, 7, and 8 done.
Time to take a picture.
Time to take a picture.
Oh, mine's still saving for a second for you.
Woo, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, question?